Hello everyone and welcome to K's Models. My name is Greg and today we're going to be taking a look at the new 3-rail Lionel New York Central J3a Hudson. This is the Mr. Muffin's Trains exclusive run, number 5415. This version has the PT tender with the water scoop smoke feature, and it does not have marker lights. In this review I'm going to be giving my honest opinion on this model. Going over all the features, and going to be giving you showing you a run around the layout. So stay tuned. Thanks for coming. So to start off with some features, this engine is equipped with the legacy rail sounds and legacy control. Also standard smoke unit, synchronized smoke, whistle steam, and it has the water scoop smoke effect, which was brought over from the Vision Line Niagara. This is not a Vision Line engine, so there are a couple other features that I would have liked to see on this model, being a New York Central fan myself, that were also on the Niagara. But moving on, this is a very well detailed model. I wish the Lionel production ones actually were actually a bit more correct. I'll go into that in a second as to why. That's one of the reasons why I bought the Mr. Muffin's Trains exclusive one. And yeah, with that, there are a few things, like this is an old engine, this mold. This mold is, I believe this was a K-line model previously. And then they just carried it over, put rail sounds and put legacy features in it, and then put it on the market. And don't get me wrong, it's still a great model. Been waiting a long time for a J3a with legacy sounds and features. The last J3a on the market that I can think of was the Sunset 3rd rail model, which I did have, but that engine was sold a while ago. And yeah, like the MTH had the J1, which is a nice model. We also used to have one of those. One of the Protosound 2 ones was sold that years ago, in favor of the Sunset one, actually. Now, going on as to why I got the Mr. Muffin's Trains exclusive one instead of an actual Lionel production one that's cataloged. The J3As never had marker lights. And all the ones that Lionel offered in the catalog, for some reason they gave them marker lights. Now, that could have been a carryover from the old mold. I don't know. I never had that, the older version. Taking a look at a prototype photo here. This is from the New York Central Historical Society's book, Know Thy Hudsons. And as you can see, there are no marker lights on the front of, or class lights, I should say, on the front of the smoke box. But it does have the correct round smoke box door and the PT tender. One thing also, I think the smoke box color was a bit darker on the prototype, but honestly, I think from this photo it could just be from dirt. This picture was taken pretty late in their careers. One complaint that I've seen on the message boards as well, I didn't have this issue with mine as much as others, and this is on the exclusive ones that don't have the marker lights. Some have noticed that where the marker lights would be, which is around here and here, if you look closely, you should be able to see it on there, on camera, if you look really closely. I don't have a macro lens to show it closer, but you can actually see where they just filled in the holes where the marker lights would go. I think they just did that with some putty or something, or maybe they just quickly went into it in the molds when they built one in the factories. But some people have actually noticed literal holes sometimes where it's been quickly patched up. And you know, for an engine, especially a limited run like these non-cataloged Hudsons, like the Pat's Trains one and this Mr. Muffin's run, you should expect a higher degree of care taken towards it. And this isn't the fault of the distributors at all. I'm still going to remain Mr. Muffin's Train customer and Pat's Trains customer. This is the fault of Lionel. Don't get that mixed up. Support those places. And also, I've noticed this on the SD40-2s. I am going to be doing a video when I'm done with those. Those engines have been a bit of a nightmare for me. I'm going to be doing a video on that in the future. Stay tuned for that. One feature I would have liked to see detail-wise is the so-called Selkirk front end. It's similar to what the Niagaras, the A2 Berkshires, and the Mohawks, the later Mohawks like the L4. They had a more squarish smoke box door, which I think looked a lot cooler compared to the circular smoke box door as seen on this model, but it's still a gorgeous model in my opinion. Now, as to any problems with the model, personally I haven't had any major issues with the actual running quality of this model. I've heard a bunch of stories and posts on like the OGR forums of people having some problems with these. Some of them have been running hesitantly. This one does have a very, very minor hesitation at slow speeds, but it tends to clear up. It's only every now and then, and it's only if you look at it. If you like stare and look at it, you can notice it kind of shakes a little. One other complaint is this one does have a noticeably louder smoke unit compared to the Vision Line Niagara, which I will be running in this video. Also compared to other Lionel legacy steam engines, not even just Vision Line engines like the Y6B. That engine has a very, very quiet smoke unit. That's one of my favorite engines to run. As well as like the really early legacy steam engines like the Milwaukee Road Northern that they did. I've got the first run of those in legacy, and that engine smokes great and doesn't make any noise out of the smoke unit. But also regarding the smoke unit on this model, at higher speeds, and I've kind of noticed this on other legacy engines as well, as the engine is at a track speed, a reasonable track speed, on this layout I've got 072 minimum curves, so I usually keep it at speed step 100, which is more or less 35 scale miles an hour. So yeah, I noticed smoke production goes way down, especially out of the main stack. I'm not sure why that is. That could be voltage from maybe the board in the engine or the tender is deciding to reroute voltage from the smoke units to the actual motor, which is understandable. I mean, I'd rather have an engine run better than smoke better and run more hesitantly. But yeah, it's just a minor quirk that I've noticed. The Niagara does that too, and personally I haven't had much good luck with Lionel smoke units, especially the Vision Line Big Boy. That's a problem on its own, but I'll go into that on a different video. Alright, now that that's all said and done, let's give it a run around the layout. Let you guys see for yourself how you like this engine. The cars behind it are Golden Gate Depot heavyweights. These are older cars. I think they might have redone them recently, but I'm not 100% on that. The smoke unit is on, but I haven't run it at all prior to this, like leading up to this, so it's going to take a while before smoke actually kicks in. As the engine gets closer to the camera, you'll probably be able to hear the main smoke unit. I'll turn down the volume so you can hear it. It's a little strange in my opinion. When I have this running with the Vision Line Niagara, I'll also show you how that engine sounds and compares to this. Also, one more thing you may have noticed during the runnings there, the chuff rate on this engine is slightly off, I think. If you look at it closely and listen closely, you'll notice it's actually closer to 5 chuffs a revolution compared to 4. They got it right on the Niagara and every other steam engine I've owned from them. I have no idea how you mess that up. Also, one last thing. On this engine, I installed a KD coupler. Lionel did include a KD mount, which is great. I run KDs on every car I can besides certain passenger trains, just because since they're going to be running with each other, there's no need for them to be compatible with freight cars. So that's a plus for this one. One issue I did have is this tender has the smoke unit in it for the water scoop effect, and the fill for it is directly next to, well, it's up front, and there's a fill tube, and that has to align back up. No matter what I did, I could not get that thing to align itself properly again after I did this. That's the only issue I have. And also, when I took it apart, I wanted to try and save the knuckle coupler, because I know a lot more people run knuckle couplers than KDs, just in case, in the event this engine got sold. For somehow they managed to make the hole that the wires go through for the knuckle coupler smaller than the plug, so you have no choice but to destroy, or you have to take the wires off the knuckle coupler in order to get it out. And so that's one problem I have. If you are going to be reverting it to KDs, you're going to have a hard time changing it back to knuckle couplers after you do that, in the event that you want to change it back. But yeah, let's get time to get the Niagara behind this, which I put a KD on the front of, and run it a little more. Alright, that's all I have for you today. Thanks for watching. Feel free to leave a comment down below, suggestions for future videos, how to improve these videos. Once again, thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe, and I'll see you next time.